I did take a peek at the first 2 episodes. Is it awful? No. Like I don't think it's a bad show. There are just things about it that really annoy me. It doesn't really break the mold of black characters in the MCU. It's strictly in the lane of what they've already been doing. I like the soundtrack, right? I like the score a lot of times. The musical selection is peak, right? But when you got us in the room, of course, that's how it's going to be. Right. I think it's beautifully shot. I think it looks really well. I think it's some of the better CGI work that we've seen in the MCU on a Disney Plus show. Period. Yeah. It looks pretty good. Outside of that, I don't know why every time we have a black character in the MCU, we have to work some sort of tropist bullshit into it, right? Like, they did a good job of staying true to the character and a lot of her background stuff. But where we end up, even with the circumstances with her leaving MIT, why she has to leave MIT and what she does as a result of that are character decisions, right? Those are things that you chose to change about the character. Mm-hmm. So why are those the changes that we're making? Why are the things that they chose to take liberties with around the character the most tropish things about the character? So, $1 million intellect in the top 1 percentile of intellect in the world, presumably, but has to do like bottom of the barrel nonsense to survive. Like, it's the same thing with Sam, the same kind of problems that I have with the presentation of Sam. Mm-hmm. Like, we're talking about top 10 percentile of military experts in the world. Man has access to military equipment that few humans have ever seen before. And somehow that man can't walk into a bank and get a loan. Somehow that man can't help his struggling family business. Why is that even a thing that we have to force on to Sam Wilson? Where is that? If I go pick up a Sam Wilson comic right now, am I going to see past due bills all on his table? Am I going to be seeing fucking foreclosure notes all up and through the panels? Why are those the things that we have to choose to take liberties with on the character? And so that didn't change about it. Right? Like, yes, is Dominique Thorne's performance admirable? Yeah, man, she's great. She's every bit of what I thought she was going to be when I saw her in Judas and the Black Messiah. Every bit of what I thought she was going to be. She can carry. She's confident, right? I do think that they could do a little bit more with having her face the consequences of her hubris. One of the problems that I had with She-Hulk is that I paid it way too much credit in those early episodes of, they're going to make that pay off. That'll come back to bite her in the butt. I haven't seen it yet, but I also I'm stepping into the same door of saying, look, I gave you grace on a character like this, showing a whole bunch of hubris, early on, thinking that you were going to pay it off later. Maybe you will this time. I'm just not paying that much grace. Because right now it seems like we're making a bunch of excuses for criminal behavior. We're opening up the door. Oh, well, don't nobody look at me. They trying to make me small, so I got to be a criminal. No, that sounds like bullshit. That sounds like every dope boy's excuse. Every dope boy's excuse. And I just want Riri Williams to be more than a common criminal. To have more avenues, because she does have more avenues. I mean, are we all just forgetting the fact that this lady left Wakanda? Right. And now she's broke. Crazy. What happened to the Wakanda Outreach Center in Compton? She couldn't leave MIT and go study there? What happened to the Wakanda Outreach in America after 2018, after Chadwick Boseman left there? Or excuse me, after T'Challa left there? She couldn't take her ass to Cali after she left MIT? On a recommendation from the current Black Panther? I'm not, again, that ain't Dominique Thorne's fault. Hell, that ain't even the current showrunner's fault. Because if I had an executive producer who wrote all that shit over top of me, I would expect him to guide me in that way. But we not dragging that man into this conversation because we wasn't even supposed to take this long. I would just say that it is good enough to watch. It is good enough to review if you choose to. I just challenge those individuals who are going to review it to do it honestly. Because if you can turn your nose at Power and say this is the same old reworked tropey bullshit and I'm not going to waste my time on it, then if you're going to take up for Ironheart and review it, then have that same critique, because it's every bit making nonsensical excuses to do criminal things to get out of a pickle. That's just not what I would expect the smartest woman in America at that point to be doing.
Sure.
Be fair. And then on the other side, if you're not going to review it, if you're going to say Marvel didn't market this project to me as if they wanted me to actually watch it, which is actually fair, then don't be superimposing people's faces on thumbnails, doing weirdo, white boy shit. If you're not going to review it, don't review it. Let's move on to some other black content that needs to be propelled. Let's move on to some other black shows that are going to be premiering and exalt those. Let's spend our time doing that. Let's not engagement farm around people who are trying to tank the film. Not saying that that's what, certain individuals are doing. I'm just saying there are individuals out there doing that. Yeah. Let's not fall into engagement farming around, Dominique Thorne trash. Well, you don't know the reason why the series is trash because you're not watching. What you got a right to do. You got a right not to watch. But if you're not watching, then that's where the content around that should stop. Otherwise, you venture into grift mode. And that is fair to view it that way if you're not going to actually consume the content. If you're telling us up top that you're not consuming the content, then that's where your critique should end. Mm-hmm.